Well, good morning, beautiful. This is a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. And this week, I actually had to go into work, so I'm coming to you from a recording. I didn't want to let you down. So, we are still going to do everything that we're going to do and work on some beauty on the outside and some beauty on the inside as well. So, let's look at our verse that we had from last week. Now, I am not going to lie. Well, actually, first, let's talk about our verse that we're our foundation verse. And you can see that on your screen there. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. That's Psalm 119, verse 11. And that's kind of our theme, our foundation for this podcast. This week, I am not going to lie, the verse that we had was a little bit much for me. So I had to kind of hit the bullet points of that. True, honorable, just, pure, lovely, commendable, excellent, worthy of praise, and then think. So I hope that you did a little better than me this week. It was a little bit of a bear. So rest easy. This next week's verse is going to be a little bit shorter, but let's say that verse together. Okay, so finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, whatever is excellent, um, whatever is worthy of praise, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. Oh my goodness, that was a booger of a verse. Maybe that's one that you've had memorized since you were a kid, not sure. All of our verses are going to be coming from the Word and Color coloring book. You can see that QR code and graphic there on your screen. And so make sure you use that. That is an affiliate link. So that means when you use that link, it's kind of like giving me a little bit of a tip. I appreciate that. So at the end of our year together, our first season together, we are going to have this beautiful colored portrayal display of all these different verses that you have worked off. Let me show you the one that we're going to do for this week. This week's a little simpler than some. Actually, let me get that graphic off your screen. Okay, there you go. So you can see this is our verse for this week. I'm going to get over here and then we'll look at that one together. So our verse for this week, I told you it was going to be a little bit easier. Be kind with words. Hold on. Yeah, be kind with words are like honey. So kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. And that is coming to us from Proverbs 16:24. Gotta love the Proverbs. Little pieces of information that just tell a big truth. So kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. So that's what we're going to be working on for this week. Let me get that scrolling across the bottom of your screen so that you can be looking at that while we are working on what we're going to be working on. So today we are going to be kind of working, well, not kind of, we're going to be working on a look that deals with various shades of pink and a little bit of dark magenta pink as well. You can do this look with any colors that you have, blue, green, pink, brown, doesn't matter. You're just going to need some different depths of color in here. So we're going to need a light, we're going to need a medium, we're going to need a dark, and then we're going to need a darkest. So 4 shades. You can even do this with different colors if you'd like. You just play around. Do this when you're not ready to go somewhere, but have fun and enjoy. You know, God has made us women so that we get to finger paint every single day. I love it. So that is what we're going to be working on. Again, that verse is scrolling off the bottom of your screen. So we are going to start with our Urban Decay All-Nighter. This is our primer. And 1 pump of this primer is going to do your whole face. So we're going to get that going here. You're just going to work that between your 2 fingertips. And then we're going to apply that wherever we need some smoothing out of fine lines and wrinkles. I have combo skin, so I have a little larger pores than some. You just put that wherever you're going to need a little help. Now, I will tell you every place that you're going to need a foundation because this is also going to extend the wear of your foundation. If you're a little older like me, I know you didn't know, right? Add that to your lips as well. That will keep your lipstick from creeping out and also help it to last it a little longer too. So make sure you get the end of the around those lips too. All righty, we're going to set that aside and we are going to be using our concealer. This is going to be the Bye Bye Under Eye in shade 11, which is light nude. And you're just going to use a little ribbon of this, about like that right there. And that is enough to do entirely everything that you're going to need to do. This performs better when you let it warm up a little bit. So we're going to take it and we're going to tap it on. wherever you need to conceal. Could be blemishes, could be redness, maybe you got some acne stuff going on. You just put that wherever you need. And we're going to let that set. A little too much on that side. We're going to borrow it and put it over here. We are going to let that set for just a minute to heat up to our body temperature. Let me wipe my finger off there. And then we're going to use our damp beauty blender. There you go. Damp beauty blender. And we're going to use the pointy tip. My cat had tried to join me earlier. So now I got cat hair. That's always fun. And you're just going to gently, because we're working around the eye area, so ever so gently, blend that out. And again, because this is a recording, I won't actually be able to see the questions that you have for me on here. So just go ahead and ask your question as you're watching this, and I will come back as soon as I get off work on Thursday and review all those questions and help you guys out. So I know one thing I had been asked is, how do you clean your beauty blender and how are you cleaning your brushes? So I'll tell you, I'm a little lazy. So beauty blender. I use the antibacterial hand soap that I have, and in a perfect world, I'm doing this every day, but mostly it happens once a week. I just use the antibacterial hand soap. I pump a couple pumps on here, squish it around, get it wet, nice and foamy, and then I rinse it back out and then let it set to dry. Usually that's what happens. Now with my brushes, herein lies the lazy part. With my brushes, I use the Neutrogena face wipes. I love the lavender ones. I will pull one of those out and I just wipe off my brushes onto that face wipe, and that cleans them just perfectly fine. I do that in a perfect world every day, but most often it's once a week. So there goes that. I'm going to just tell you all my secrets. Now we're going to use the Fenty. This is the Pro Filter Matte. This is a long wear matte foundation. I am shade 185. If you do not love your foundation shade color, I would encourage you, come by our store. Let us do a shade match for you, or any Ulta nearby. They can do a shade match for you and find your perfect color. So we are going to do just kind of like sections at a time and just a little pump will do you. Why was I tapping it? Great question. So the tapping of that is because the pigments in the foundation weigh a little bit more than the fluid that they're suspended in. So you need to give it a couple of taps to let everything kind of mix around so that it's beautifully blended for you. So we're going to start in the center of the face here. And we're just going to tap, little kind of a painting motion, but more tapping than sliding. Just make sure you get that evenly covered everywhere. There you go. And now we're going to just do a little more pump. And we're going to do our cheek. Another pump to catch the other side. Well, it's not really a full pump, it's kind of a partial pump. And you can see how beautifully that foundation covers. It's very lightweight. Doesn't have an SPF in there, so you can add that beforehand with your moisturizer, or you can use a setting spray, spray that afterwards. Whatever makes you happy. Okay, then we're going to do another pump here. Catch the forehead. There you go. Once you are happy with the blend out of that, now if you want more of a full coverage foundation, you can go over this whole thing a second time. This foundation is very lightweight, so even if you did it a second time, you're still going to get beautiful coverage for it. You can also use a brush, which will give you a little more. Let me just get a little pump going on there. If you use a brush, it'll give you a little more coverage than what you're going to get from a beauty blender, but totally your call. There you go. I like that better. There we are. And today we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit with our contouring. Today we're going to be using the Fenty Beauty. This is the Fenty Matchstick, and this is in the shade of Amber. So these are kind of cool, super easy to use. And then we're going to be using the Fenty brush for contouring that she has created. And we're going to put this in exactly the same space that we were using the powder. Only difference is it's a stick. So we're going to go right just above where that cheekbone is. We're going to go up just a little bit, up a little bit where that cheekbone is, a little bit across the forehead here, down the sides of the nose, under the tip. Follow that jawline. And now we're going to blend all that. Okay, so take your brush. We're going to be working up and out with that. And kind of both directions up here. Now, when we get down here, you're going to want to have your brush kind of sideways, and we're just going to hit that and go down. And I can hear myself already because do you know where I did not put foundation? Shame on me. You get all excited, you're thinking about your verse, you lose your head. Okay. Now that we've got that there, now we're going to go back and apply back under that chin there. Same thing you were doing before. Brush is going to be sideways. All right. Need a little bit more. Just get in there and do that. All right, on our highlighter today, we're going to be sticking with that theme of the Fenty Matchsticks. This time we're going to be using the shade of Starstruck. Has a little bit of shimmer to it. You're going to get that top of that cheek there, right up next to the eye. Down the center of the face. Dab that brush off on that tissue. You know, I always keep a tissue on my lap. And then you're just going to blend that out, work that out a little bit there. You can also, I feel like I've got a little liney thing going on here. Take that brush and just go over that like that. Help to blend that out just a little bit. Right, making sure we hit that Cupid's bow really good. All right, sticking with a Fenty theme we've got going on today, we are going to be using her cream blush. This is Cheeks Out. Crush on Cupid is the name of the color. These are super fun. It does not take a whole lot of these, and what you're just going to do is take these two fingers here. You're just going to like tap, tap, and then dance that just across the top of that cheek right there between those two colors that you just put on. Couple taps. Just a really nice blend out. Those are just so beautiful. I'm going to give me a little bit across here. Maybe a tiny bit right there, and just a little bit down here. All right, so fun. Now we are going to take our long time no shine, and because we have used a cream, contouring, and blush. This time today, we're not actually going to use a puff. Today, we're going to be using a brush. So you want a nice fluffy powder brush. You're just going to give it a couple of taps in there. And we're just going to go over the whole face with a nice setting powder. I like the Lancome Long Time No Shine. I didn't show you the package. I'm sorry. If you've been with me any length of time, you have seen that package before, though. There we go. All right. Woo, getting a little carried away there. Making sure to get under that eye area really good. And actually, I think I will use the puff a little bit to do that. Partly due to the fine lines I have under my eye. I want to make sure that I set that nicely so I don't end up with creasing. And partly because I have combo skin and it will have a tendency to get a little crazy. So there we go. Now that we have got that all done, we are going to focus on our lips. And today, well, actually, before we get to that, to the lips, we're going to look at our verse we have going across the screen there. So our verse for today, let me get back over here. Our verse for today is kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. Proverbs 16:24. So it's going to be a little, we may have to actually say that twice when we get to our mascara curling. Okay, so now we are going to go down and work on our lips. Today we're going to be lining in NYX Line Loud. The shade is the Hottie Hijacker, I believe. Yes. So when you line your lips, we're going to start out in the Cupid's bow there. Just going to give it a nice V, and then we're going to work our way out. And actually, it looks like I need to scooch up just a little bit. There we go. Straddle that line as tight as you can. You can go for a teeny tiny bit, but do what you want, but I don't like that overlining thing. Okay, here we go. And then just inside of where you lined, line again with a little lighter pressure. This is going to keep you from getting a harsh line look, and it's just going to help your lipstick to last longer as well. Close your mouth, take a look, make sure your sides are even. There you go, fix it if need be. And today we're going to be using one, this is one of my favorite shades. I think I actually got this the first time in one of those like holiday kits from, sorry, my cat is trying to join us, from one of these holiday kits from Bare Minerals, and love this shade. This is the Bare Minerals, it's Bare Pro, and the shade is Hibiscus. It is kind of just a tropical pink, very nice color, and this is a matte lipstick, lasts all day for me, does really well. I've only had to replace it in the center of my lips after I've eaten. So you're just going to fill in the blanks where you just put your liner. Making sure to go all the way over the edge of that lipstick that you, the liner that you used. There you go. I told you it was a beautiful shade. All right. So now we're going to be working on our eyes. We're actually going to be using two different palettes today. So we're going to be using the Sweet Pinks from Juvia's Place, and then we're going to also be using the Berries from Juvia's Place. These are both beautiful palettes. Let me show you the color. I know we've used the pinks before. That's this one here. And then today we're going to be using just one color, but from the Berries palette, we're going to be using this color here. So I love both of these palettes. They're super pretty. We're going to start out with the pinks. You are going to be using your all over shadow brush. You can use one that looks like this, which in It Cosmetics, this is an all over shadow brush, or I like kind of I've got a little bit wider of an area here. So I like this, which is actually a concealer brush. So brushes are just guidelines for what they should be used for. So you do with them what you want to do. A brush is just a brush. Okay, so we're going to start out with the lightest shade that you had. And that's going to go on the upper part here. That's going to be from the brow bone to the eyebrow. You want to get enough shadow on there to do the job, but you don't want so much that it's falling off and flicking on your face. So if you're a little heavy-handed when you dip in, give it a couple of taps before you go to put it on. There you go. And now we're going to take that, what is considered an all-over shadow brush. We're going to move to the medium color that we have. And the medium color is going to go on the entire whole rest of the lid. This one's got a little bit of shimmer to it, kind of a little bit of glimmer. So you'll see that this one does give you a little bit of fallout, but that's all right because we've got some extra powder down there under the eye to catch and then brush that off. And we want to make sure we catch the whole lid here. And then just blend that up a little tiny bit into the lighter shade that you put on. Okay, we're going to step to the other side now. And again, you're just going to cover that whole lid with this medium color. And whether it is you've chosen, greens or blues, doesn't matter. Whatever that medium shade is. Now, if you want a little more of a natural look, choose shades closer to the color of your skin and lessen the degree of intensity that you have. Have them be closer in color depth to each other. That will bring it down just a little bit and help it to be a little more classic, a little more natural. You can't walk around with pink hair and natural eyes now, can you? All right. Now we're going to switch over to, I'm switching over to the Berries palette because I'm going to use that deeper color that I told you about. This one right here, which is actually almost the color of the hibiscus lipstick that I just put on my lips. We are going to be using an angled eyeshadow brush now. And I would love to show you one, but alas, I did not grab one. So let me get that really quick. And an angled eyeshadow brush is very similar to, sorry, having to clean that off. Difference is this one's cut with more of an angled degree. So we're going to be using this brush. We're not going to load the whole thing, so you're not side swiping into the shadow. We're going to take that angled edge and you're going to just drag it through the shadow like this. That's going to, here, let me show you what I'm talking about. You're going to drag it through the shadow and just the tip is what's going to have the color on it. That's going to allow us to have a little more control over where that shadow is going. And now we're just going to follow that brow bone, tuck in just underneath it. So just to the side of the eyeball and depositing that color. So we're just going to go right here with that. And depositing that color right there. And then we're going to bring that down just a little bit to the lower lid, going about a third of the way. That's going to make like a kind of a little bit of a V kind of shape right here. There you go. And now we're going to take and do the same thing on the other side. Better to lightly load and have to add shadow than to too heavy load, because once you get it on there, there's not an easy way to get it off. All right. Now we're going to go along the lid edge, about a third of the way in. Okay. Now we're going to take the brush that doesn't have any loading on it. It's whatever was left from before. And you're just going to work over that top edge and let that blend itself out. And now I want you to go back to the brush. Don't load it. The one that you did the medium color with. And I want you to go over that edge with that medium color. That's going to give you a nice smooth edge to that. Then we are going to take our eyeliner brush, this one here. We're going to drag through the darkest color that we have. For me, the darkest is going to be this one right here. And you're going to drag that through the eyeshadow like this. So the only thing that has color is the very edge of it. And we're going to follow the bottom of that color we just put on. And we're just going to make a nice smooth line. And again, we're going to go across the bottom here and do the same thing right beside that lid. And because the edge of this one is so thin, you may find out that you need to, keep revisiting that palette a few times till you get that line exactly the way you want it. Now we're going to get that line. We're going to go along the bottom right here. Get you a nice V going. There we go. And it looks like I might have eked over just a tiny bit. So I'm going to come over here with that medium shade and just blend that out and fix that. There we go. All right. So now we got a harsh line where we just worked so hard to not have harsh lines. So you're going to take your smudger and the same color, the darkest that you just used, we're going to take that smudger and you're just going to tap, tap, tap it in. And we're going to work from that line out just a little bit. Just removing the harshness of that line we just created. And then we're going to go to that corner and work it out to that bottom line we created. Working on that corner. So I get asked all the time, you do these recordings, they usually take about 45 minutes to an hour. How do you have time to do that all morning or every morning? And the answer is, I don't. When I'm not talking and instructing through it, it goes a lot faster. Also, the more that you do it, the faster that it goes. So now we're going to work on a little bit of lining. So for today, we're going to try two things. We're going to be using two different liners. We're going to be using the black and the white of the NYX retractables. I'm going to start out with the white liner. And the white liner, we're going to go on the water line. First, we're going to take off the shadow that's on there. There we go. And we're going to put that white right on that water line. Okay, once you've got that water line, now we're going to take the black one and we are going to line as usual. So we're going to do the top half. There we go. Top half on the other side. And then we're going to do the lower third. Making sure we come in about the same distance on both of them. There we go. We are going to grab the liner brush that we had used previously, and you're going to go into the medium shade that you had, and we're just going to drag it through again and then line with that liner brush on top of that liner that we just put on there. There we are. That's coming out super pretty. All right, so we need to finish our lining with the eyes. So we're going to be using the Better Than Sex. This is the liquid eyeliner. It comes in, I believe, 2 shades now. They've got it in a chocolate and a black, but we're going to be using the black one today. And we're going to line that whole upper lid with this for 2 reasons. One, it's going to give our lashes a better surface to adhere to. And second, if you happen to get a little north when you're putting your lashes on, it's going to help fill in that gap. So you're not going to see your lashes, oops, space, and then the false lashes. So on this one here, we're just going to line that whole upper top lid with a very thin line. Looks like I'm about ready for a new one. All right, give that little thing a shake again. Usually it's like a swipe on the outsides and then I meet them in the middle. If you just got a nice, really good steady hand, you just do it all in one swipe. Good for you. Okay, now our eyes are mostly done, so we're going to switch gears and we're going to work on our brows now. I have fashion colored hair, therefore I can't use regular brow products. Well, I mean, I could if somebody would do fashion colored brow products. Hello, Benefit. But they have discontinued those. So we are going to be using a eyeliner. So I am using I've used lip liners on there. I've used eyeliners on there. You just do what you got to do. So my opinion is if it's good for the face, it's good for the face anywhere. So we're using the NYX. This is the Epic Wear liner, and this is Pink Spirit. And let me just give that a quick little more of a sharpen. Don't need it to be too sharp, but it does have to be a little bit sharp. So we're going to be using this right here. My eyes are a little bit in protest today. It's probably due to all of the allergens in the air right now. Just going to give those a light tap. And now we're just going to fill in our brows. Short strokes. And I like to do the line on the bottom first and then fill it in from the top. If you're using, Gimme Brow or the micro filler pen, whatever, do whatever you need to do for that particular product and also for the shape of your brow. If you don't like the shape of your brow, come in and see my girl Olivia. She can help you with shape. She can wax your brows. And oh, my favorite thing is the wax and relax service. Oh my gosh, I love those under eye patches that she puts on while she's doing your services. And now I believe it is standard with all the services, so that makes that just even more spectacular. All right, we're going to be coming down just a little bit. Now we're going to fill from the top. There we go. just like that. You do have to be a little more careful when you're using an eyeliner pencil versus an eyebrow pencil. They tend to be a little softer. If you're using a lip pencil, even more soft. So just be careful with that. Okay. Then step away a little bit. Make sure you got your brows kind of even. Well, not kind of even, actually even. About the same distance going down. There we go. Now we don't want it to leave it all kind of, goopy looking like this. So we're going to take our brow brush or the spoolie, and you're just going to brush that out a little bit in an upward motion so that your hair is working nicely with the brow product that you just put on there. If you like that nice laminated look, you can use a brow setting gel. Or what do we got? Anastasia has her brow setter. We've got, oh, so many products. Everybody's like all into it right now. Somebody else just has a new lamination brow setting. I think that might be Anastasia. Anyways, so once you've got that the way you want it, you can finish that out there. We want to make sure we did not disturb our shadow underneath. So just go back to your brush. No need to really reload that. You're just going to brush right up next to those brows there and make sure that you did not disturb that powder. There you go. And now we're going to do some mascara. So fun stuff with the mascara. I am going to be using the Bad Gal Bang. Bad Gal Bang. This is in the shade of black, although I dearly love the blue. We are going to be using our lash curler from Tarte. Love that. And then today we're going to be doing Juvia's Place. This is Zaria lashes. Just a very nice natural look. I believe this is in the medium volume section though. But just a nice lash look. And then we're going to be using the Kiss Cosmetics. This is the super strong strip lash glue. And then also my favorite tool from Velour. So we'll be using this to put the lashes on. So first we're going to start out with the mascara on my lashes. My lashes are almost invisible. As you can tell, you can't see them. So we're going to have to turn them black so that they match in with the lashes that I'm putting on. If you were gifted by God to have black lashes, then yay for you. Just go ahead and curl them and stick those lashes on. So you will get a fuller looking lash though if you at least put one coat of mascara on there. So we're going to put that lash curler on just past where your lash lid is. You do not want to feel your lash lid pinching when you curl your lashes. So let's do this here, and let's say the verse together, which I actually do not have in front of me. So hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. You all can see it scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Okay, here we go. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. Proverbs 16:24. And that's a little bit short. So, do that. Maybe say it twice. And then we're going to switch to the other side. And we're going to make sure we've got that lined up. We're not pinching the lid. There we go. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. Proverbs 16:24. So short verse, say it one more time. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. Proverbs 16:24. Okay. Now your lashes all curled. We're going to get that Bad Gal Bang. And we are going to coat at least one coat of mascara, depending on your lashes, maybe two. And we're just going to give them a little something so they blend in nicely with the false lashes that we're using. There we go. Oh, you got to love it when you touch your lid. Okay, so we're going to fix that by grabbing that brush and just brushing that away. Okay, other side now before we lose our curl. Remember to brush the front side and the back side of those lashes for the maximum impact of that lash. All right, now we're going to touch the bottom lashes too. Making sure those are all nice and neatly covered. When you feel like you've got that one side, you're just going to move to the other side. Do not let me catch you pumping your mascara. Swirl if you need to, but no pumping. And now touch my cheek twice. Remember, we got our bullet. Let the bullet get that out the way. There we go. Okay. I think we're pretty good to go. Let me just double check on these. There we are. One more time. I should have maybe just left well enough alone. There we go. Here we are. And now we are going to apply our lashes. So we're going to take these. These are already trimmed to my eye shape, but if you need to, you'll trim from the outside edge of the lashes. Most people do have to trim a little bit off. It is not unusual at all if you need to do that. So again, you're going to use your velour lash scissors. These are very pointy. These are very sharp. They work wonderfully. Every once in a while, you're going to have to brush your lashes just like you would your hair or a wig. And so I encourage this comb right here. This is from Velour as well. They've got the nice spoolie on the other end. All of these tools are designed to be used with lashes. They're super helpful to you. So from the outside edge of the lash, you're just going to pull that off of the tray. I set these down in front of me as they are going to be on my eyes. These have the Zaria has I can't think of the word, a flare. Thank you. So it's a little thinner on the inside. They widen out on the outside. So it makes it super easy to not keep track of which is which. So we're going to use that Velour Lash 2. You're going to grab those lashes right in the center there. And then we're going to take that Kiss Lash Glue. And you are going to put that adhesive on the edge of that. And then turn it just a little bit and catch it on the back side of that band as well. Making sure to pay special attention to both the outside corners so that your lashes will be firm in place. So we're going to do that there. We're going to catch that there. There we go. Set that down in front of you. Pick up that other one. And we're going to do the same thing. You're going to line that top edge. I did not know until I started wearing false lashes that I have a mild latex allergy. So if you're using black glue and it's giving you any problems or you're finding your eyes watering a lot, you may switch to a clear because that could be part of your problem as it was for me. So who knew? All right. So we're going to talk for just a second to give those a chance to set. You'll know when it's set and it's ready to go because the glue will start to be a little bit less shiny. Another thing that you can do if you want to speed up the time a little bit is, fan that bad boy out. All right. So we are going to start with evidently this week we're starting with the right side. And so let me get that set up so it is good to go. This is also a good time to check and make sure you don't have any like little extra hair travelers. And we are going to set that down right in the center of the eye, closest to the lash line as possible. Then we're going to work to the outside. We're going to set that down right there and then come to the outside. Put that right up against that lash line there. Double checking our fitting to make sure we've got everything where it needs to be. And this one's being a little ornery today. There we go. Just kind of push each little section down in, make sure you've got it good. And then we're also going to take this and work our lashes a little bit, make sure our lashes are all nice and playing pretty with the false lashes. There we go. Making sure that inside corner is definitely down good. Now we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. Grab that in the middle, checking to make sure if these are ones you've used before, you don't got any little hair stragglers, because that'll just make tickly nothingness. And again, we're going to set that down in the center of the lash line. There we go. Working that inside corner down and around. And then we're going to catch that outside corner. Once you've done this a few times, you'll get a feel for where it needs to be and how it needs to set to be perfect for your eye. You can see I got it a little high up, so while the glue is still not set, you can have a little bit of move around time. There we go. We're also going to work those lashes in right there. And we're just going to tug that down just a little bit right there. Set that inside corner back down. There we go. If you do get any glue or adhesive on your tool, just wipe it off on that tissue that you've got in your lap there. We're just going to check and make sure everything is all nice and plain good here. Everything looks like it's good. Got that white line while we're waiting for our glue to dry. Once your glue dries, that will all be clear and you won't even see that at all. All right. You can see the difference that a beautiful set of false lashes makes. It's just a nice frame on that picture. All right, so what have we got now? We have got a refresher of our verse that we're working on for this week. So let me flash that up on there. So we got kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. That is coming from Proverbs 16:21. And last thing that we have to do now that we got all this goodness on here, we need to preserve all of that so it's not going to go anywhere all day long while we are working, while we are playing, whatever it is we're doing. So we're going to be using our Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray, whichever one it is that you choose. They've got their hydration. It's got their glowy dewy. This is the D-Slick for me if you've got combo oily skin. They also have their Ultra Matte. Not my favorite. Give it a shake. Tilt your head back. Give it a couple of sprays, let it dry down. There you go. And every once in a while, you'll see that, like right here, you can see that there's a little bit of glue grabbing the bottom lashes. Just take your little tool and get that out the way. It'll be fine. All right. So what an amazing day it has been to spend with you today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I look forward to seeing the looks that you create. So whatever color that you've chosen, shoot a pic, do a video. I would love to see how your look came out. And then while you're working on your verse for this week, doing a little refresher on the ones past, maybe you're new joining us, you don't feel like you need to catch up all the way, just start from here and go forward. Let's not make it too difficult. I would encourage you, though, color the coloring pages so that at the end of season 1, we'll have a beautiful book to look at together. So we are just going to review all of our verses together now. So we are going to start out with, let me find it. Okay, let me get this one off the screen. There we go. And we are going to start with our season 1, episode 1, which was 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. There you go. The grass withers and the flowers fall, but the word of the Lord endures forever. 1 Peter 1:24 and 25. And then we've got Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. Then we moved on to the New Testament in 2 Corinthians 12:9. God's grace is all you need. And then we moved back to the Old Testament. We looked at Joshua 1:9. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. From there, we moved to Exodus 19:2, I think it was. The Lord is my strength and my song. Then we, let's see, scroll down a little bit so I can catch you there. Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice. Then we moved to a different place in Psalm. We were in 6:13, I think. Oh, let me double check my Psalm. Oh, just kidding. 118, verse 24. The moon and the stars you set in place. And who is the you? The you is God Almighty. And then we're in Psalm again, Taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, that was a cute cupcake picture. I really liked that one. And then, oh, that was Psalm 34:8. Then we moved to the New Testament and we did Galatians 6:9. And let us not grow weary of doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. All right. Then we move to Proverbs. She is clothed with beauty and strength and dignity and laughs in the face of the future. Laughs in the face of the future? I think that's how it goes. Then we had Psalm 96:4. 96:4 was great is the Lord and worthy of praise. And then we had, the palm one, which is not actually talking about our hand, it's talking about God's hand. I have written your name in the palms of my hand. That was, or in the palms of my hand. That's talking about God writing your name on his palm. And then we moved to what was one of my favorites because my dad was a Navy man. So I love this one because it's talking about an anchor and the picture that we had an anchor. We have this hope as an anchor to our soul. And then last week we did, let me scroll back up here. Last week was a kind of long one. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, whatever is excellent, whatever is worthy of praise, think on these things. Philippians 4:8. And then this week, we're going to be working on Proverbs, and that is going to be Proverbs 16:24. 16:24. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul. So I like the picture of that one. It's got a little beehive on it. So be as colorful as you'd like with all those. So it has been an awesome time spending time with you this morning. Let me give us our blessing, and then we will pray us. I will pray us out. So the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. And that is coming from, let me get over here. That's from Exodus. See, I lose my things. Okay, that one is from Exodus. So, Numbers, excuse me. There we go. So let me just pray us out, and then we'll be good to go for today. So, Father God, thank you, God, for all of my friends who hung out here with me today as we work on a little bit of beauty on the outside and a whole lot of beauty on the inside. Father, I pray that you would guide our words, our deeds, our thoughts, our actions this week as we work on all of these verses, and especially the verse that we have for this week. Father, that you would help us to remember that kind words, they're important. They're like honey. They are sweet to the soul. And so let us treasure these words in our heart, Father, that we will use these as part of our armor to protect ourselves and to elevate you, Father, to remind ourselves of you and the importance that we are here on this earth to glorify you. Father, thank you for all these things. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So may you have an absolutely fantastic week this week. And I hope that the Lord bless you until I see you again next week. Remember, put your questions in the comments below.